All right, ready for some more examples? Let's do 55 and 56, and then you're going to pause the video and try 58 and 62, okay? Let's take a look. First one I have, obviously I can see there is no greatest common factor here, so I'm just going to rewrite this down at the bottom. I need two numbers that will combine to -1 because that's the coefficient on my middle term, and I need them to multiply together to give me -72, because positive times a negative is a negative, 1 times 72 is 72. So I'm going to factor 72 real quick. Yikes. 1 and 72. 2 goes into it, let's see, 3 and 4, no, 6. 3 goes into it, 24, 4 goes in 1 time, and there's 32, 8. Let's see, keep going. So far, I still don't have any factors. Oh, sorry, you guys couldn't see that. I don't have any factors that will combine together to get 1, which is why I'm going to keep going. Let's see, 5 doesn't go, 6 will go in 1 time, and then 2. No, that doesn't work. Let's see, 7, no, 8, yes, 8 will go in, 8 and 9, ding, 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 ding. I can make 1 with 8 and 9 if I have, let's see, I want it to be a negative, so my big number is going to be negative, and my small number will be positive. So they multiply together to make 72, and if they are positive 8 and -9, they will combine together to be -1. So now I can take this middle term and I can split it. Let's see, x squared, and then I'm going to have plus 8x minus 9x minus 72. Cool. So I have group 1 and I have group 2. Lovely. Okay, so here if I factor out an x and I divide what's left over. Well, here I've got an x left over. Here I have a plus 8 left over. If I factor out a negative, let's see, 9 goes into both of those, and I can't factor out a variable, so let's see, divide by -9, divide by -9. These will cancel, and I have x. Negative divided by negative is positive. 72 divided by 9 is 8. Bam, and look, twins. Yay, that means I'm doing it right. That makes me happy. So I can factor out an x plus 8, and when I factor those out, what's left over? X and -9. Awesome, no greatest common factor, so I'm done. These look like big, huge, crazy problems, but they're really not that bad. Okay, so don't be overwhelmed by how big they are. All right, 56. Let's get a greatest common factor, because I've got 6 and 12, which 6 goes into both of those, 144. Well, I know 12 goes into 144, and if 6 goes into 12, then it makes sense that 6 goes into 144 as well. So I can factor out a 6. Well, if I do that, and I divide by 6, divide by 6, divide by 6, what do I have left over? These will cancel, and I have a squared. Negative divided by positive is negative. 12 divided by 6 is 2. A is still there. Negative divided by positive is negative. 144 divided by 6 is what? 22, 24. Whew. All right. Highlight that greatest common factor because you don't want to forget about him. Okay? Then, when we come down here, we're going to just use our trinomial, because this is the part that we're going to try to split apart and factor into two binomials. Middle term, -2. Then I'm going to multiply together to get what? -24. Cool. Now let's see. I need two numbers that multiply together to make 24. Let's see. I can do 1 and 24. I can do 2 and 12. I can do 3 and 8. I can do 4 and 6. Oh, I can stop. Yay, because 4 and 6, I can make 2 with 4 and 6. If, let's see, I want it to be negative, so my big number is negative, my small number is positive. So with positive 4 and -6, I can multiply to get -24, and I can combine to get -2. So these are my magic numbers. I'm going to take my middle term, and I'm going to just split it up into two separate terms. So let's see, everything else will stay the same. A squared plus 4a minus 6a minus 24. Everything else stayed exactly the same. I just split that middle term. Splitting the middle term gives me my two groups that I can factor. So 1 and 4, nothing there. A squared and A, I can factor in A. Then if I divide by A to see what's left, let's see, these will cancel and I'll have 1 left over. These will cancel and I have 4 left over. Cool. Now here, my first term is negative, so I have to factor out a negative. 6 and 24, I can factor 6 out, and I only have a variable in one of these, so I can't factor out a variable. That's fine. Divide by negative 6 to see what's left over. These will cancel, leaving me with positive A. Negative divided by negative is positive. 24 divided by 6 is 4. And look, yay! I have twins, which means I'm doing this right. Factor out my twins. A plus 4 comes out. And what's left over? A minus 6. Done. Check for that greatest common factor. Go back to your original. Do I have a greatest common factor? Ooh, I sure do. Let me put that out front. So there are my factors. This is the factored form of the original polynomial. Okay, the original trinomial that I gave you. Why don't you pause the video and try number 58 and number 62, and then come on back when you think you've got it and check your answers with me. How's it looking? Did you get these two factor pairs for your factors? That's what you should have gotten. If you got them correct, then awesome. You're ready to finish up this page on your own. If you're still struggling a little bit, don't worry. You can do the best that you can and come into class tomorrow with some questions, or be sure to submit your questions in your summary online. So that way I can be ready to work with you in class when we get together again. Thanks for watching. Have a great night.